All right. So can everyone see my Blackboard? Okay. All right. So let me just pick up one of my courses. And if you go on this, the menu window on the left, you have this link called Collaborate Ultra. So if you click on it, it takes you to Collaborate Ultra. So that's what I like about it, that, you know, it's integrated with Blackboard itself. Within I had everything and the students have everything. So a few things before we jump into different features. So what you see here is the first thing. This is like my course room. That's my main room. I can use it for my office hours, right? And I can either lock the course room if I don't want anyone to just jump into my room without my knowledge. So I can just lock the course room over here from this these three dots, or I can just leave it unlocked. So right now the status, by default, the status is unlocked. So any student in my course can just get into this room, and I use it for office hours. If you look at the menu bar, this is where we have all the recordings and all the sessions. So let's say, for example, I click on these sessions and I want to go back to what all sessions I've had so far with my students. So I'll go to all the previous sessions, and since I've just had one class, so that will pop up. So all my sessions are going to pop up over here. And the good thing is that all the students, they can also go to their Collaborate Ultra and they'll be able to see all the session recordings and everything in Blackboard itself. So I don't really have to, copy the link of my recording and post it for my students anywhere. It's all available in the student's Blackboard account. So what else can I do with this? If I want to see the attendance report of all of the previous sessions, I can just click over here and I can go to view reports, and it's going to tell me what was the start time, the end time, how many attendees were there, what was the duration of the meeting, and I can view the attendance report also. So if I click on this attendance report, it will show me exactly like how many students were there, what time did they join, what time did they leave. If a student was joining in, was dropping out and joining again, I have all the details about that student. I can export this report. So I can export it as a CSV file on my computer and do whatever I want to do with it. So that's one good feature. I don't have to really bother about keeping a tab, taking screenshots at how many students are there. Once the meeting ends, then I have the attendance report with me. Okay, let's move out from here. How to create a session? I mean, that's by default, that's the view that I have. So I can just click on this create session link and go on to create a session. I'll have to give it some name. So let's say whatever. Faculty development workshop. I give it a name. If I want to send it through email, then I just click on this guest access. So this will generate a link which I can send to people who are outside my course. If I so generally what I do is I generate a guest access and put it on the announcement so that all the students have it. Students might not be aware that Blackboard Collaborate Ultra is a tool and they should be using it. So until and unless I show them where everything is, the safer thing is just give them the access link. It'll go to their email. They'll click on the link and join as a guest. So that's the easier thing to do so that they don't have to really search around. They have it in their email. So click on this guest access, put in the start time, whatever start time. Let's say whatever, 3 p.m. Put the end time. If I want to repeat the session every week, I can do that. If I want to keep it a session, I can do that. I can specify when can the student start joining in, whether it's 15 minutes earlier, 30 minutes earlier, whatever is my preference. By default, it shows me 15 minutes before start time. This is optional, provide a description. If I want to talk about first day of class or what all we'll be discussing, we can put the description, otherwise there is no need. And then there is a settings tab. You can go here, and this is pretty much like Webex or Zoom. What all permissions you want to give to the students, to the participants. Can they share the audio? Can they share the video? Can they post on chat box or not? So all that. So it's pretty much the same. This is a new one that Collaborate did. You know, if we want to have a session which is of more than 250 students or attendees, you just have to click on this. It probably optimizes to a large scale audience. And yeah. And then once you click create, then your link will get generated. And I can just copy that link. It'll ask me use Control+C to copy the link, and then I can send it through email to students or to whoever is going to attend the meeting, right? So that's how you create a classroom session or any session that you want to. So let me just take you inside the room to just give a feel of how it really looks like. So once you start your session at the time, let's just join a room. So that's how it's going to look like. There we are. It'll ask you, that's a good thing that it just pops up. If I forget to press the record button, it's going to give a pop-up. You want to start the recording. So it's like a reminder whether you want to record the session or not. So there's a pop-up window that comes up every time. So now if you look at the interface, there are 3 areas. One is the session menu on the top left-hand side of the screen. If you open this, the 2 important things here are to start the recording and how to leave the session, right? So there are just 2 things over here. Rest is all about the help and all that. Probably we won't really need it. That's area number 1. Area number 2 is this at the bottom of your screen, where you can control your audio, your video settings, or you can raise your hand, right? And the 3rd area is your Collaborate panel on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. If you open this, this is where you have all the controls as an instructor. The first one right here, by default, it opens up like this. This is your chat box, right? And in the chat box, you can type in whatever you want, and you have a whole host of emojis. I've never used emojis in my class, but I mean, it's there if anyone wants to use that, right? The second one is, if you click on this attendees, this is where you get all your participant list, who all are there in your session. And then you can control, if you want to mute all, you can just click on those 3 little dots and you can mute all. If you want to find a particular attendee, you can find the attendee, right? There's another option called detach the panel. It means that the attendee list is going to get merged with your viewing area. So if I click on this, so everything goes here, right? So in case I'm showing a PowerPoint and I also want to keep a tab on who all are there, or if someone is, raising a hand or something, then I can just use this option, right? Or I can just go merge the panel, right? So this is the attendee list. Share content. This is where we share the content and make the breakout rooms and everything. So I know in Webex, we are trying to figure out how to do those, how to create those breakout groups. Here it's pretty simple. So let me go through this panel one by one. One thing that we have here is the whiteboard. So I can share a blank whiteboard. This is a pretty cool feature. It's just like using the board that we have in the classrooms. There are a lot of options over here. I have a pointer, so I can use this if I want to show it to the students where you want to really concentrate. So there's a pointer right here. There's a pencil feature, and I can use different colors. Let's say a red color, and if I want to, write something on the board, I can do that. So whatever I want to do, I can just use the pencil for that. And I can use different colors, right? So an orange or whatever, a blue color, whatever. If I want to type in some text, I can use the text tool, and I can just click anywhere, and I can just use that, and I can make multiple boxes. Wherever I click, I'll have a text box. If you want to use different colors, I can do that, right? So whatever. So this is another helpful feature. I can use some shapes. I mean, a rectangle, square, and all that. So all that is there. And this is the clear feature. If I want to clear out the whole Blackboard, then I just click on clear, everything will get wiped out. If I want to clear off just one, let's say this hello, I want to delete, and everything else should stay on the board, then I can use the select tool. I select this hello, and I hit the delete button on my keyboard. So only that will go. If I want to wipe out the entire board, then I'm going to just use the clear function, and everything gets wiped off, right? So a useful feature, if I really want to draw something and show it to the students, I can always use this a whiteboard feature. The second one is share the application or your entire screen, right? So if I click on this, let me just first stop sharing the whiteboard. Okay, share application or screen. In this, it's pretty much like other platforms, right? So I can either share my entire screen, and let's say if I want to play some video in the class, make sure that you click on this share audio. So whatever audio is there on that video, it'll get shared. Otherwise, I ran into this problem. I was playing the video, and the students started saying that we cannot hear the sound. So there is this little checkbox over here, share audio, and they'll be able to hear it. I can go in for a particular window. So this is pretty much like Webex or like Zoom. So I can use the entire screen, application window, or any of the, one of my Chrome tabs or whatever, right? Share camera. So this one is, if I have an external camera connected, I can have multiple cameras connected. The only limitation is how many cameras I have, right? So if I can go in for that. So I don't use this feature, but it's there. The next one is share files. This is important. If I have to, now one way to show, let's say the presentation of the class is I share my entire screen, but then sometimes, the email messages will pop up. There'll be a ping sound or whatever. So everything what is there on my screen gets shared with the students. So if I want to avoid that, this is a good feature that I share a particular file with them. So I can add a file, or I can just drag and drop that. Let's say it's a PowerPoint that I have to show to my class. So I can just add a file over here. I can click on this add a file, and I can choose whatever PowerPoint I have to show. As soon as I upload it here, it converts to picture format, right? So here, just to show you all, I've already uploaded a file over here. And if I click on it and click on share now, this panel will open up. And let's say I want to share slide number 1. I'm going to click it, and it gets shared with my students. The good thing here is that I'm sharing this with my students, and I also have the Blackboard functionality. So let's say on my slide, I want to really highlight something, or circle something. I can use this tool. I can use the pencil tool and tell them, that this is important from whatever point of view, right? If I have a touch screen, it's even better. I can just use my finger to circle whatever I want to. But if I don't have a touch screen, then I have to make use of my mouse, or there's an external pad that you can buy from Amazon for, there are many companies which are selling those pads. So I can connect that pad, then I can use my finger or whatever, a pen to just replicate whatever I want to share on my screen. So yeah, and if I want to add any text on my slide, I can do that, right? So This feature won't be there if I'm using if I'm sharing my entire screen. So if I'm sharing the entire screen, I can't do anything of this. But if I'm sharing my PowerPoint as a file, then I have this full functionality. So that's one good feature. Right. So this is about sharing files. And if I want to stop sharing, there is this stop button over here. I can stop sharing. Okay. And let's go back here. So that's about a few things. One more thing is polling. So to make the class more interactive, I can use the polling feature. Maybe, we did a lesson plan. I want to do a quick multiple choice, how many students understood it or not. This is a useful feature. So here, there are just two options, either yes, no, true, false choices, or I can have a multiple choice. If I click on this multiple choice, I can type in my question. Now, one thing that I do is, if I have to do any polling, I prepare my questions beforehand in a Word file, and then I just copy and paste the question over here. Otherwise, if I start typing in, it'll take time, and I'm not a very fast typer. So I can just copy paste the question over here, and you can have a maximum of, I think, 5 choices. Yeah. So you have like maximum of 5 choices. Once you have your question, once you have all your choices, you can start the poll, and it'll show up on the screens of all the students. And then they can do the polling, whatever, right? And in real time, I'll be able to see what the responses are. That's to end the poll. So that's the polling feature, a helpful feature to make the class a little bit more interactive. The next one is breakout groups. So I know in Webex, we've been trying to figure out how to do it, and people who are used to Zoom, they love this feature. But I discovered this feature in Blackboard Collaborate also. So very easy to use. If I just click on breakout groups, there are 2 options that the system gives me. It can be a custom assignment. That means I assign my students to which group, or it can be a randomized assignment by the system. Right now, obviously, because I'm the only one in the session, so this thing is deactivated. Otherwise, if you have more than 1 people in the group, you'll have there'll be a drop-down menu. One would be a custom assignment, and one would be a random assignment. So the groups are here, and I can have more groups. If I click on this plus icon, I can create a new group, as many groups as I want. All the keys would be listed over here.
Or can you let Professor Haynes in? I think he's waiting in the waiting room.
Oh, is it? Okay, I didn't, how do I do that? Okay. Let me okay, let me go back to, okay, I'm not sure how that, how did it get locked, and how can I, okay, let me just stop sharing my
I think you have to stop sharing and then pick them up.
Okay. So how do I let a person in?
Amit, can you check your email? Probably you received an email with the person waiting in there.
Okay, because I never locked the room. I don't know how it happened. Let's see. No, I don't have any email. I've not received any email.
I'll call them to see what the problem is.
Okay. There is invite and remind. There's participants. Because people were joining in even after I joined. So
there should be a button there for you on your thing.
Yeah, I don't see option to let a person in, or I don't even see who's waiting to get in.
Pull up your participants and see if there's anybody at the top waiting.
Yeah, I think this is
That's why I like Zoom.
I think everyone can join in. I just tried it. It's okay, Amit.
Yeah,
Okay, don't worry about it. I'll call them to see what the problem is.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Dr. Reed. Okay, so let's go back to Blackboard Collaborate. I'm going to again share my screen. and take you back to collaborate. Okay, so at the groups. So I can create as many groups as I want, and I can even rename the groups. So let's say I want to make it instead of group 3, I want it team A or whatever, team 1. I can rename the groups. All the participants would be listed over here. And either I can go in for a random assignment. It'll ask me how many groups I want to make. Right? Right now that option is not activated because we don't have more than one person in this group. I think there's some background noise happening, so probably need to mute. Okay, yeah, that's better. No, again, it's happening. Okay, and I can, if I want to do, there's some background noise happening. Okay, let me see if I can mute. Okay. I can click and drag the persons from one group to another. I can allow attendees to switch groups if they want, so I can do that. And once I have assigned groups, okay, there's a background noise happening.
You have to see who's unmuted there.
Yeah, let me see. There is some background noise. I don't know who's.
I might have similar problems in class when we use that Webex.
Yeah, I think, yeah, that. Okay. Okay, let's go back to, all right. So I can, this is how it's easy to make. I can rename the groups. And once I'm satisfied with which student should go in which group, I can just start it. So what will happen is it will start the breakout rooms and it will tell me which room I am in. I, as a professor, can stay in the main room and have all my students in like 5 or 6 different groups. And then I can actually go from one group to another to interact with the group members. So there's an icon right here. So right now it says I'm in group number 1, right? So I, as a moderator, as the professor, I can go to group number 2. I can click on this icon and go on to group number 2. So it will show me that, you're moving to group 2 now. And then I'll be there. I can talk with the students in that group. I can chat with the students in that group. I can share any content that I want with the group members. I can allow them to share their PowerPoint presentation with each other, whatever, give them all the direction, and then move on to group number 1, right? So just click on that and I move on to group number 1. Once I'm there, I'll again give them the directions, what they're supposed to do about the assignment or whatever. And then I can tell them that I'll give you like 5 minutes, and then I'm going to automatically move all of you to the main room, right? And in the meanwhile, I can just go back to my main room, wait for the time to get over, whatever time I've told the groups that you've got 5 minutes to, discuss, and then come back and make a presentation. And then I can use this stop button. So it means I'm going to end the breakout groups, right? So I end it. And so all the participants would be listed here back again, right? So this is a very good feature, breakout groups, easy to use, like Zoom, but I think in Zoom you can set a timer. Here you can't really set a timer, so I'll have to actually tell the students beforehand that you've got like 10 minutes to discuss, and then come back over here and make your presentation or whatever, right? So otherwise, it's a nice feature to have. In the settings, this is just for my basic, the audio video settings, my speaker volume, notification settings. Do I want an audio notification if someone joins or leaves the session? So if I want that ping sound or I don't want it, so all of that. So pretty much standard stuff that you have in all the other platforms, right? So yeah, so that's about it. So this is like a very intuitive interface. You just got 3 areas. One is your session menu. It's just used for recording or leaving the session. the control panel right here, that's for your audio and video settings. And this is the main one, the collaborate panel on the bottom right-hand side. This is where you have a host of all the features. You have the chat feature, you've got the participants, how to control all the participants, and then of course the breakout groups. They have the breakout groups in this share one. I don't know why, probably they didn't find any other place to put it, so they've put it over here. But I mean, if you just explore it a little bit, I'm sure you'll like using this platform. It's I know it's very underrated, Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. Zoom and the other one, Webex, they are used much more widely than Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. But one of the good things is that it's integrated in your Blackboard account. So all the recordings. So let me show you one more thing. Let me just come out of this session. Let me stop the session. Okay, so it says that I have stopped the session. How do I go back here? Yeah, okay, back to my main room. So if, the students will be able to see all the recordings and everything. So let me just switch to the student view. So probably you're aware of this, that if you want to switch to the student view, there's an icon right here on Blackboard. So you can enter the student preview. So as a student, if I go to Collaborate Ultra, I can see all the recordings. So all the recordings would be available for the student. So I don't really have to wait for the recording to get downloaded and then copy and paste that recording link to my Blackboard account, right? So it's going to be there as long as you tell the students that you have to click your Collaborate Ultra, this link, and you'll be able to see all the recordings over here, right? All the sessions also. So they'll be able to see over here, all the upcoming sessions, all the previous sessions, they'll be able to see, and they can just directly click on that that particular session and join it from here. So that's one really good feature about Collaborate Ultra, that it's integrated with our Blackboard account. So, I don't have to wait for, sometimes, I know Webex, there's a problem that the recordings get generated after 24 hours, right? So I really have to, make sure that, once the recording is available, I copy the link of my recording and then I paste it on Blackboard, right? So here you don't have to do that. And the recordings get generated very quickly in Collaborate Ultra. I mean, within a few minutes, the whole recording is there, right? So for Webex, it's like you have to wait for 2 hours, 3 hours, sometimes as long as 24 hours. So it doesn't happen in Collaborate Ultra. It's right there. I don't have to, bother about copying and pasting the link and putting it in my Blackboard or announcements or whatever, right? It's all there for the students. Whatever I do, it's all just available over there for the students.
Dr. Aurora, this is
Yes.
Lucy. When you want to give a lecture with Collaborate Ultra, how do the students get in? They're registered, right? Do you have to give a time, and do you have to have an ID like Zoom in order to set up your meeting?
So there are two ways you can do it. So one is, when I create the session, automatically the students, if they go to their Collaborate Ultra, they'll be able to see, they'll be able to click and join. The other way is, sometimes what I do is, once I've created the session, I copy the session link and put it on my announcements or just send it to my students as an email. So that's what I do. So they'll have the link, they can join either through the link, or they can go to their Collaborate Ultra link and join it from here. So there are two ways they can join.
So say you set up a meeting and you start your session, you can just automatically go to Ultra and join?
Yes.
Okay.
As a student, what I'll do is, so let me go back to the student view. So this is what I see as a student. So I'm going to go to Collaborate Ultra, and I will see that the professor has already scheduled a session starting at 3:11 p.m. or whatever my class time is. I'm going to click on this, and I'll be able to join it
automatically. Okay, great.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So any questions? I mean, I'll try to answer whatever I know. I don't know 100% about Collaborate Ultra, but the more I've used it, I've learned it more. And just now, today itself, I just got to know about the attendance feature, that the attendance thing is there and the report gets generated. So I'm by no means an expert in this, but whatever I have gathered over the past 2 or 3 months, I thought I'll just share it with everyone so that if anyone wants to use Collaborate Ultra, can do that. It's really underrated compared to Webex and Zoom, but I think it has pretty much the same functionality. And the best thing that I like about it is it's all integrated within Blackboard. So I don't have to, bother about copying and pasting links and the recordings and everything. Right. So let me stop sharing. And let me see if anyone has any questions from anyone about Collaborate Ultra.
Hi, Amit. This is Donovan. Just one thing to watch out for if a student has to call in. So if they call into the session rather than use the web link, you're not able to put them in breakout groups. That's something I ran into.
Yes.
And so they stay in the main room, and then the main room just becomes kind of another breakout room. So just one thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. So I also ran into that. So one person, he called Colin. He was as a Colin user. So that person was with me in the main room. And one more thing that I discovered was that if you are recording your entire session and you make these breakouts, as soon as I, as a professor, if I enter any of the breakout rooms, the recording will stop. So I have to make sure that once I get back to the main room, I need to start the recording again. So that's one thing that I discovered when I had my class. So I don't know, Donovan, whether you encountered that, but just make sure that as soon as I enter a breakout room, the recording stops. So that's one thing to take care of. Okay, there's something in chat. Let me see. Okay, attendance feature. Yeah, I agree, Alex. So yeah, that attendance feature is very helpful. Earlier, when I did not know about the attendance feature, I used to take a screenshot of just to keep a record of how many students are there. But now I don't have to do that. So I just go once the session is over, I can just go and just generate the attendance report. So.
One thing I'd like to point out here is the best thing about Blackboard Ultra is once you record your video, you can actually embed the video in the main screen in the main home page of the Blackboard itself. So I use Blackboard Ultra not for Webex, not for conferencing with the students, but actually for recording my videos and embedding them in the main screen of the Blackboard itself. That's very helpful. Students like it. And especially when they're looking at the professor, they get to see the professor video right there. So that's something which I really enjoy doing.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Anshu. Yeah. Okay. Let me share with you about Caltura. So I know we are going to run short of time. So Caltura is another feature. Let me share my screen with you all. Okay, so Caltura Capture can be used for asynchronous. So let's say I want to, record a lecture and then put it online for the students to watch later. So I can go to my media. And in my media, we have this, this is the homepage, add new, and then you can click on Caltura Capture. The first time you use it, you'll have to download it. And it's an easy download process. As soon as you click on Caltura Capture, it will walk you through the steps. The only thing is, if you are using a school laptop, then you won't have administrator rights. So which means you won't be able to download. So probably you'll have to take help of Ernest. So he can then download it for you. He can remote login and then he can do all that. But if it's your personal laptop, then you'll be able to download and you can use this too. It's easy to, I can show you what it looks like and what's the unique feature of that. So let me just play a video for you. share. Okay, I don't know whether you'll be able to see it, but let's try. So let me just play this short video for you. Can you see the video being played? So what you can do is, the cool thing about this Caltura Capture is that I can switch the views, right? So I can see the professor's picture can be minimized, and I mean, it can be minimized the way I want it, and I can just focus on the content, or I can have a side-by-side view, or I can just have one single view that I want. So there are all these controls. As a viewer, I can control what I really want to watch and what I really want to focus on, right? So yeah, so this is some cool feature about Caltura Capture, right? So, and it's all going to be available under My Media. So you can just click on Add New, click on Caltura Capture, download it. Once you have it, then you can record your videos and post it for your students. I haven't really, I also explored this Express Capture. This is, you don't have to download anything. If you go to Express Capture, yeah, it's right now it says failed, could not start video source because I'm in another session right now. So here it's just one single record button. You cannot share anything. It's just your face and whatever you want to record. So it is like an express capture. So probably if you want to make a short announcement about something and post it for your students, this probably can be used for that. And there are some other features I've not really tried, the YouTube and all, but I guess, you know, and in Caltura Capture, so once you record it, it's going to pop up over here under your media. And then you can crop it, you can do a lot of stuff, and then before finally publishing it for your students. So that's what you can do. So this can be used for asynchronous learning. So that's again a great tool. Okay, let me stop sharing. All right, there we are. So any questions about anything that we have discussed? I mean, I don't guarantee I'll have answers to everything, but whatever I have, I'd like to share with everyone. So any questions? Are we good? I mean, this session is being recorded, so we can always go back and watch it later. Okay, Dr. Reed, that's I guess that's it from my side.
Thank you. I know we're a little overwhelmed if you've never used Blackboard Ultra. It may seem like, oh my God, we're bringing so many things to you, but we're in that kind of world where, you know, we are being thrust into using platforms we really are not familiar with. So I'm going to try to share my screen with you. And I want to give a shout out to Professor Bailey, who actually told us about Webex being now integrated with Blackboard. So we didn't even know that till, I guess, Monday or Tuesday. So if you actually go, I'm going to my business communication class that I'm actually teaching this fall. I guess if you go find the little arrow. So if you get to the menu, if you scroll down to Tools and Communication, and you scroll down that, you will see Webex. So Webex is now, as Blackboard, you have Blackboard Ultra, Blackboard Ultra, you now have Webex that is a brand new feature, and I think we may be the only people in the university that knows about it because we actually learned about it on the call on the weekend. So I just want you to know that it's here because we're going to learn about it more in detail on Tuesday. Because we actually went through it, and then it's important for us to know that it's there. So now I'm going to go back. Okay, so I think all of us are using Webex as well, not all of us, but a lot of us are using WebEx as a part of this. So I'm gonna see if I can get out of yours and go to mine. Okay, so when you sign into WebEx, you see WebEx meetings and WebEx Teams. WebEx Teams is now open to us. When we learn about on Tuesday about WebEx that's integrated into Blackboard, we're going to learn about WebEx Teams. WebEx Teams is actually the place where you will actually be able to use breakout rooms. But as I was talking to the gentleman yesterday, Mr. Mallory yesterday, he says that you're going to actually be able to do breakouts just like you do in Zoom, just like Amit just showed us in Blackboard. And so we also now have it available in WebEx. Presently, you can do breakouts through the WebEx meetings. So I'm just giving you a heads up so that for those who actually can come on Tuesday, we will actually be able to learn more about it. You still always have to log in. But once you get to WebEx meetings, you can actually see something called WebEx training. It's right here. And WebEx training is where you used to have to use to be able to go to do breakouts, but it's actually super convoluted and it just doesn't work very well. And so we're going to actually learn how to use all the WebEx features on Tuesday, learn how to do WebEx that's going to be integrated into Blackboard, and then also about how to then bring in students. So I think it's like 10 more minutes, so we're going to really not go over WebEx, but I know a couple people had asked that they wanted to see how they actually start using WebEx versus, they've never used it before and they want to know how to do that. And I can actually show those who want to do that to stay in the system. So what we're telling you today is that you have choices. Zoom is not your choice. Even though Zoom is one of the platforms that UDC has actually, made available to us at some point, it's going to go away when they actually have to start paying for it and get the bill. And so those people who want us, so I'm really encourage you to come on Tuesday at 2 o'clock. I know that Dr. Tan had a undergraduate curriculum meeting, but I would really encourage you to maybe reschedule that so the faculty can actually come to the WebEx webinar with the WebEx representative, because he's going to show us, and he actually showed me a lot of it yesterday, a lot of the different features that are brand spanking new. They just got in this week. So we're going to be the first people on campus to really actually see all the different new features that WebEx is going to provide you. So at this point, I'm not going to belabor those people who are already using WebEx, but for those who want to show how to use WebEx, how to invite students in, you can stay on the call and I will walk you through that. So any questions, basic questions, or let me ask you, those who are using WebEx, are there any challenges that you're actually having with WebEx that you'd like to bring to the group, and then we can actually bring it to the representative on Tuesday?
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. You said something a minute ago about the university won't be supporting Zoom. They don't have to support Zoom if you're using the system and it's professional. Once the people are invited, the students are invited, they can come to that. What are you referring to when you're talking about the university won't support it?
Okay. So the university will be paying for the WebEx platform, the WebEx Teams platform, the Microsoft Teams platform, and the Blackboard platform. They're not paying for faculty members to use the university Zoom. A lot of you already have your own Zoom account, your own professional account. You can actually, again, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but you can use it. But if there's maybe say a troll comes into it, that was one of the issues with Zoom, is that they were having trollers kind of like break into people's meetings and say bad stuff or do obscene stuff. And so people just did not feel at some point that Zoom was maintained privacy. But Zoom has corrected that now, but the university has chosen not to support Zoom. So just say, for example, one of your students complains about something about Zoom, the university is going to say that you take that up between you and your professor in your school, because we're not telling professors to use Zoom anymore as a platform for teaching.
Okay, that's one question. Now, this is similar to that. I've had in the classes I've already had, it was raised by 2 or 3 students. They say, well, what happens as it has in many times, Blackboard is not available. It goes down frequently. Okay. So some of them have had that experience where the university system has gone down. Now, in the past, one of the things I used to do the very first day of class is I would walk my students from the classroom to my office, sit them down in front of my desktop, and have them type their name and their email and set up an email string separately so that I could send them emails separately. Now, I've tried to do this and set up these groups just as a backup. In other words, when I'm communicating with them now on Blackboard, I go down to that email, send them an email, send the attachments. I attach the Zoom meeting to the announcements and send it out to them. But what happens if that goes down? I need another system for me to be able to communicate. And apparently it's not taking. It's when I tried to put it in there and send test copies to a few students through that system, it appears as if only if you're on UDC's email system will this do this. Is this being restricted? In other words, I send a copy to myself to my personal email just to know that when I send it to the students, that if I got the email in my personal email, then I know that they got it. It's just more or less a double check on it. Is there some control? Is there some reason it's set up that way? You know what I'm asking?
Paul, I send the announcement with the Zoom connection, those who use Zoom or whatever. And then they send them a message right away. I chose that feature.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what happens. What happens if Blackboard is down or Zoom is down? I'm talking about the ability to send to my class in the emails that they have through a separate, like a string on the regular email system, which I used to do. That's the way I used to be able. And for example, let me give you an example. When I was going to attach, when you try to attach a video to the Blackboard platform, it doesn't take. You have to. If you set up a Zoom meeting and you copy the Zoom meeting, it won't go easily over into Blackboard. If it does, I don't know how to do it. Do any of you know what I'm talking about? In other words, when you go into Zoom and you set up a meeting, it says copy the meeting link, and then that square comes up. You copy that, and then when you try to paste that, I don't know, unless I'm doing something wrong, it doesn't paste. It won't go into the system. And what am I doing wrong? Anybody that's there.
Okay, so let me.
You know what I'm saying?
I see, but again, I have used it and it's copied. Okay, so maybe after the call, so we don't hope it everybody else unless they have the same issue, I will show you, I will do a demonstration to see if in fact I'll set up a Zoom meeting for us, and then I'll show you how it's copied into you're talking about your UDC email account, correct?
No. If I had a regular email account and I was going to send an email account to a string of people, right? Okay, I can copy easily into an email, and I can copy easily. If I wanted to show a video, I just click share, click it on there, and it goes right in. It doesn't do that in Blackboard, not for me. There's
videos in Blackboard that they can help Paul.
Yeah, they did. There is a feature in Blackboard where you can put your videos into Blackboard. So
you copy the link, you mean?
Blackboard itself. Yeah, there is a feature in Blackboard where you can automatically attach your videos onto Blackboard. Let me research that, because I learned it in the summer class, but I have to go back and look at my notes.
I done that. I've actually included videos in my Blackboard, and maybe if I can share the screen, I can show it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let me see. So this is my Blackboard screen. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yes, and here we have the video. So I have always done it in the Blackboard Ultra, and then I put it in the Blackboard. So these are my videos. This is my online course, basically. So I always put my videos. I record them in Blackboard Ultra,
It's
and then
Blackboard
I embed the
Ultra.
videos.
It's Blackboard Ultra, and it'll automatically take them.
No, it will not automatically pick it. So you'll have to copy the link from your Collaborate Ultra settings, and that's where you. So it's the same thing. So even in the Zoom link or the WebEx, like for example, this one is a WebEx link. So this is not the Blackboard Ultra. So
Okay.
so whatever platforms you're using, you will have the links created, or you will have either the MP4 file created. So you can actually upload that into the Blackboard.
Right.
And I think the way to do it, if I have to just show it to everyone, is once you're creating an announcement. For example, if you create an announcement here, so there is something, when it opens it up, there is something called, if you look at this box here, there's an embedded video link. So if you insert your video here, you can actually put a YouTube link here. You can put the Ultra link here.
Oh, okay. I see it there. I see it. Okay.
Exactly.
I see. All
So
right.
any link, any recording that you have, you can just put it over there and insert it, and automatically it'll be inserted in here. So that's how I do it.
That's in Blackboard. That's in Blackboard Ultra, right?
No, it could be, yeah, it is Blackboard, not Blackboard Ultra. So let's say if you have a video recording from Zoom or a video recording from Webex, you can actually go on to the announcement section of your Blackboard like this. You can create an announcement. So there's not Blackboard Ultra, this is simple Blackboard. And then here you see the message. So in the message, I'll make my screen bigger. So in the message, you have edit embedded media, insert or edit. So you click on it. And that's where you can actually include any YouTube link, your MP4 video file, your Zoom link, your WebEx link, whatever.
Okay. All right. Thanks. I think I'll give that a shot. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, excuse me, folks. My lawn guy's down there now. I got to go pay him. I can hear him out there. The grass is up to my waist. I got to take care of him. I'll be back. All right. Let me mute this.
Reed, you're muted. Dr. Reed, you're muted. Dr. Reed, you're still muted.
I should know this by now. All right, so what is the next WebEx? Tuesday, 2 o'clock. I'd really encourage everyone to come because we have an expert and he is really willing to sit down and talk to us and walk us through as a group of how to use all of the different WebEx features. And as I indicated, there's some new ones that just came out this week that he's going to show us of how WebEx is getting to be more Zoom-like so that they find it more user-friendly than WebEx has been in the past. So when is the next faculty development meeting?
So the next meeting is in October. It's on 15th of October, I guess. It's a Thursday, 15th October.
Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you so much for coming to our first faculty development meeting, and also bring all of your Zoom questions. All of your WebEx questions on Tuesday, and I guarantee you they will be answered. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Yeah, bye-bye. Thank you. And share the recording with everyone.
And set it up already. All right. Bye. You all have a nice weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.